What's up? So today's video is brought to you today with my annoyance, which I'm over it right now with Apple. Before I obviously talk to you about the infotainment in many of these kind of luxury cars. Now, I've reviewed many luxury cars and I just need to put this out there. Hopefully the tech team in Apple are listening and they can do something about it when doing their next update. Now, I know I have to be obviously very mindful, very demure, very cutesy, whilst obviously delivering this message. So let me get into it. So Apple put out a video like a couple of weeks ago now entitled Privacy on the iPhone, basically showing you that by using Safari you get rid of basically all unnecessary footprints or people following or people that are monitoring your device. You can prevent people from monitoring your devices if you are using the Safari app. Now, I must say the video was amazing. Like, I knew what the video was before I even read the title, if that makes sense, obviously by watching it. According to the video, it purports that by using Safari and not another, say, browser, you are using industry-leading privacy protection, including intelligent tracking, preventions, and things of that nature. Well, that is not entirely true, as I found it quite strange that people can jump on your device using headphones via Bluetooth. So if you obviously have Bluetooth enabled on your iPhone, people can obviously transfer their iPhone to yours. So you're essentially listening to your music on somebody else's device without even knowing. And the only reason why I know this is because it happened to me. I was on my phone and my device and I saw all these pictures that had nothing to do with me. So I use Apple for now because I don't like any other products at the minute. However, I'm waiting for the Nothing company to produce a laptop or computer so I can switch, because I feel like it's kind of getting ridiculous to an extent for a company who charges a lot of money for the state of the art to be compromised in like such a way. It's quite, I would say it's quite ridiculous. Apple's most expensive products are the studio displays, costing about $5,000, obviously depending on the specifications. This makes sense as to why I keep seeing content that I don't even engage with. So I'm thinking to myself, if I don't engage with this content, why am I seeing it on my feed? Well, if I'm on somebody else's device on my phone, that's why I would see it on my feed, which results in me obviously doing extensive blocking certain amounts of things off my social media platforms. I'm thinking, where is this coming from? Now, I'm a very kind of jovial person, but when you keep doing unnecessary things, it's gonna get on anyone's last nerve, you know, and it's obviously gonna make me talk about it and obviously share my concerns. This probably explains why I get content on my feed that obviously I don't engage with. I know sometimes you get recommended content, but this is way off the Rector scale, sorry, of things that I'm not even interested in at all. I really specified, I think I already spoke about what I like and what I don't like on one of my YouTube platforms. So my block list is about 4,000 plus accounts and counting at this minute in time. So anyway, let's get into talking about Apple. As we all know, Apple is a company that has a net worth of, I don't know, $3.342 trillion and has increased by 10.98%, by 11%. It's obviously teamed up with Microsoft on some ventures. However, Apple has issues with its obviously supposed closed ecosystem, which I've obviously discussed. Now, this is going to be a long video, so pull up your chairs, your popcorn, and let's get into it. The knowing that the phone in which you are speaking on is actually your phone and not somebody else's. The only reason why I know this to be true is because, like I said, on my previous phone, I saw loads of content. I'm talking about pictures that weren't even in my image gallery, that was not mine. in the photo. And I'm like, what's going on? So phone calls that I had made or recorded content on, well, could have been potentially done on somebody else's phone. That's when I realized, hold up, this is Apple. Apple's a closed ecosystem. How can this be? And I used to think to myself, yeah, how could this be happening? But this has been obviously going on for a while, and every time I went into the Apple store, I would wipe both my devices and the same thing would occur. If I'm only on my laptop or a computer, why would I get notifications like you need to ensure your phone is logged into the same iCloud as the device you are using? Now, why would that be? That's the question I ask myself. So I'm now asking, as this is seemingly something that is obviously going on for quite a while, and despite constantly listening to YouTube creators who discuss about Apple updates and what that means for you as a user of their platform or user of their devices, I think, what can I do? I personally feel that it's important that more is done to ensure that there's privacy. Swim swapping on the actual iPhone is prevented. People can't be paying money for Apple devices and be having these issues, because Apple products are not cheap. Studio monitors about anything between $3,000 to $5,000, and then you've also got the Vision Pro, which is about $3,500. I feel like Apple need to compensate me. I wanted to be compensated for the inconvenience that I've had to endure using their devices. So I need gift vouchers, all of that type of stuff, because it's absolutely ludicrous. Anyway, being said, let's talk about the infotainment in luxury cars. My bad, there is really not one. If you go into cars such as a Urus, a Countach, a Huracan, or a Sterata, they all have one thing in common, which is that their infotainment is very basic. That is surprising, I know, for cars that cost $320,000 or more. Now, when you get into any of these cars, their infotainment is a very basic, and I mean very basic, and this goes across the board with many of these luxury cars. You would think that the amount of money that you're actually spending to purchase the car, that you'd be also getting great infotainment. That's not the case unless you're going to like a mechanic or something. That is why many times you have to get it installed privately, and this is obviously expensive. In saying that, certain cars like the Aston Martin DBX 707 and DBX have had upgrades to their infotainment systems and brought it up to the times, as well as the BMW iX40, which I'm telling you is the new electric phenomenon car. But I'll talk about that. Well, I've already spoken about that in another video. You can go and watch that. The infotainment in the BMW iX40 is great. I like it because you have so many options to choose from. Oh my. And the monitor is so big and it's so wide. I like it. Is that the more expensive a luxury car is, the more simplistic the infotainment is in the car. These luxury cars are more concerned about performance, speed, rather than obviously playing music and things of that nature. As the engines are so loud, it's like, oh my gosh, just imagine you're getting into a high performance car that does speed of 1.66 over 60 seconds, which is probably the Dodge Challenger. And it is very simplistic, engine is roaring, and it be so loud you can't even listen to music. Forget the infotainment. Now there's the Rolls Royce. Now the Rolls Royce is a classic example of a car, of a review of a car that I did. And in the vehicle, it was so simplistic in terms of, I'm talking about the infotainment. It was very shiny. You're very kind of mesmerized with the shininess and aesthetics of the car. Even the Lamborghini Urus, it had the same thing, but it had all these buttons near the control panel, but the infotainment system was so standard, which also applied to the Ferrari as well. The only car which had the most interesting infotainment and had a lot of effort which was put into it, I feel like, was the Aston Martin DB, I think it's DB12. Was it DB12? I think it's DB12. You could see the high resolution touchscreen, enlightened graphics. It was absolutely amazing. I absolutely love that car. Obviously, the Aston Martin clearly upgraded the DBX 707. They upgraded it on their new models, and the touchscreen was, I feel like they clearly upgraded the touchscreen from the initial one I saw, which was very standard. It was quicker to react to inputs, obviously connecting your devices to it. I think honestly, many of these like high performance cars need to put more effort into their infotainment system. You can't be paying all this money and the infotainment system is so like, it's just like standard. Like if you want something of a more, if you want something more extravagant, you'll obviously have to pay for it. But in many high performance cars, but the infotainment system is not as expansive as it could be. Let me know your thoughts on the infotainment in these cars. Anyway, peace out and take care.